Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today we are in the nippy cold. It's December and I thought we could do a December allotment tour. So let's get started. Woo! I can't believe it's already Christmas basically. Scary stuff, isn't it? So this is the tomato bed and I'm thinking about doing squash then this year. The tomatoes have been fine. The tomatoes have always done well. Okay, you get blight and all that sort of stuff, but you still did so well over the last couple of years here. But my squash, it seems to be plummeting in like quality, so I'm thinking about swapping them over, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I've done squash on the other side of the allotment and it was real bad, so that's what I'm thinking basically. But I have horse manured and it does look lovely, doesn't it? I think it looks real good. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing basically. This is Jasmine's little patch. It's a little bit, it's overgrown with strawberries again, so I'm gonna go through, pull the strawberries and just spread them out. We love strawberries. Having too many strawberry plants, who's ever even heard of it, right? So it's not the end of the world, but I'm gonna go ahead and spread those out. This bed here, as you can see, you've got the asparagus, which is just like higgledy-piggledy, but you've also got tiny bits of garlics here. But the rabbits are eating it all. So I was just on the phone to my partner and I was like, we've got to do something about the rabbits. We need to do something about the rabbits. So I think they're getting through the gate at the front. So I'm not 100% sure what to do there. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll sort something out because they keep climbing through, the little darlings, and they dig up everything as well, so you can know it's them. And they're like starting to munch my leftover leeks as well. I know the food's getting a bit scarce for them, so I understand, but I still don't want it to happen. So here I have another bed. It's all horse manured and done. Most of them are already done, these beds, and they're doing really well, etc. I kind of want to leave it a little bit because I'm thinking the cold weather will help get rid of some of the pests within the soil. I'm trying it this year anyway, and then I will cover it over to warm it up so that in sort of May, June time it's all toasty warm for my plants to go in. I'm not sure what I'm going to be growing on this side yet. Haven't decided. I did do peppers there last year and they didn't do particularly very well, so I'm probably not going to do peppers there again. I'm not sure what I'll grow there, probably swede, because I need some swede this year, because I love it. This is a roof stout bed, but with wood chips, so it's a back to Eden method, and we grow our potatoes in here. Really great. Whole bed of potatoes. The ground has really broken down into lovely soil. But it works really great every year, so if it's not broke, why fix it? So this was a brassica bed. You see it's virtually empty now. You've got 2 red cabbages in there which are waiting for when we want to come and collect stuff over the Christmas period. Very excited about having some cabbages, so it's nice to have something crispy in the winter months. Chickens, hello chickens. Got some really sad news about our chickens. We actually lost one. We lost one called April, the white chicken, and the reason why we lost that is because she was a battery hen and she sadly she just died, which happens a lot with battery hens because they haven't had the nicest life, which is very, very sad. I was quite upset because we've only had her for a little while and she died, and I feel like she hasn't really done anything with her little chicken life, which is very, very sad, isn't it? But it just shows looking after chickens, super important. All right, so these are the rest of my leeks. As you can see, they've started to get little nibbles on them, so I am going to pull them up today and take them home with me, because we're not growing these for the rabbits, are we? Well, the rabbits think they are. That's going well. You man. Come back with a fork and do those. I'm weak. This bed here, we've got loads of pink celery here, still going really well. I'm gonna come through and pull some of that. This is the last of the shard. It will rot down and it will come back up next year. The rest is all ready for onions, Just waiting for my onion delivery. 300 onions this year, exciting stuff. This is a bed that I really need to just chop back. So this is raspberries all along here. Let's just chop them down to the ground, use those as some sort of leaf litter, cover in wood chip, as I do every year. At the back is tayberries, that big tree thing here, and all the rhubarb is under the ground resting. We got so much rhubarb this year that I genuinely just don't know what to do with it. I've got rhubarb coming out my ear. We are going to probably make some rhubarb vodka. My mum loves it, and I give it to her for a Christmas present every year, and yeah, so I think she'll like that. Well, she specifically said, Nick, can you get me some? So I think she'll like it, considering she asked specifically for it. Here we have, it looks like a barren waste ground, doesn't it? But all of this is done. Done, done, done. Woo! So I'm really proud that we've got so far in this. And this is all horse manure. I barrowed it myself, very proud. And it's all done. This is where the squash was last year. I don't know whether to rotate it. What do you think? If you're doing no dig, you don't have to rotate. Do you think it's worth rotating if my squash yield went down? Considering this year was a bit of a rubbish year for squash. Oh, I just don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Here, she'll show you my twig. Run, run, run. This is my grape twig. I grew this from twig. It was this yay big. It was knee high to a grasshopper. And now, look, it comes up to my armpit. You know it's good if it comes up to your armpit. Got my herbs behind me. I grew those from twig as well. Look at them. They're looking actually really good. The rosemary, I think, is particularly impressive because I grew it. When I planted this, it was like this big, honestly. And look at it now. Oh, I'm gonna harvest some of that before I go home because I got lamb, and there's nothing better than rosemary covered lamb, is there, in the world? Okay, so here, bit of a breeze. Here I've got my garlic bed. This is all garlic. I planted it with my mum, and some of it I planted earlier, but this is just kind of resting. It's actually quite warm. I've only got one hoodie on. You can tell that it's quite warm when I've only got one hoodie on. It's one hoodie, but it's hat and scarf weather. My neck's always cold. This barren waste ground here, as you can see, all of this bad boy, these are Jerusalem artichokes. Jerusalem artichokes are like potato-like structure. They're really sweet. They kind of taste like a difference between a potato and a parsnip, so there is a little difference between the two. They're really sweet though, which is nice. Okay, so this one here is my peonies bed. So these are peonies. I will cut them down to the ground, but these are peonies here, and at the back there is some gooseberries, which obviously great for soups and stuff, for pies and for crumbles. This is, believe it or not, rhubarb. It grew massive. We have so much rhubarb here, it's a joke. This is a potato bed. All along here, grew tons of potatoes here last year. It is proper squishy. Great thing about no dig, you can actually walk on no dig beds, which you cannot do apparently if you dig them, so that's exciting. Another horse manure bed here. Horse manure bed is a, I'm not sure what I'm gonna grow there, but this is pretty cool. This, just here, just along here, is a bed that is full of marshmallows. Okay, medical marshmallows, not the squishy ones. You eat the roots and they're really good for your throat, so I thought it was really exciting. My daughter loves marshmallows, so I thought I'd make some and see if they're, you know, pretty decent. This bed here, I grew tons of beans and I kept them, and do you see I put a picture up of them being shelled, etc. I think they're really good. The end here is my orchard, very young orchard. They're more like a twig forest than anything else. This is my largest tree. This is a no, what is it? What are you? Where peach tree. This is a peach tree. My mum actually got me this for my birthday. And this is the second season that it's in. I think it's doing really well. I think it's doing fantastic. It does have leaf curl, which is a bit of an issue, but apart from that, it seems to be quite good. Look at it, fantastic. But the rest of it I am going to be working on. It is a work in progress. I want to get this bit of this allotment in particular is awful for perennial weeds, and I'm really struggling with them. So I'm trying to like kill them, and then eventually I'll have strawberries and bushes and all of that sort of stuff and have this as a food forest. But right now I'm kind of concentrating on killing off the perennial weeds, which is the deal. So here we've got a potato bed. Obviously empty right now. I don't actually put my potatoes in until the 17th of March every year, okay? It's St. Patrick's Day, the closest weekend to that, I put them in. And then I don't put them in all in one go because there's too many. I put them in like about, if that makes sense. So I start on the 17th and then I finish on probably like April. I'm going to put these in. We're going to do 4 beds of potatoes this year because we normally do 3. My mum wants 1, so makes sense, doesn't it? So this is another brassica bed. You've got tons of brassicas here, and I've come through and I've harvested them all. We've got absolute ton of Brussels sprouts there, which is really cool. I will come through and pull them off in a moment's time. It's really good because I've probably told you this already, but Jasmine absolutely loves Brussels sprouts. So we've got to have lots of Brussels sprouts because it is the season to eat Brussels sprouts. She's the only one in our family that loves Brussels sprouts, but she can eat them like they're going out of fashion. So, you know, no one's fine. This is the last bit I've done. As you can see, it's more lumpier than the others. I do think the frost and the rain and everything is breaking down the sods in the soil. As you can see, like when I first put them in, they were solid, and now they're breaking up nicely, but they're doing really, really well. All that nutrients is not only feeding the plants, because forget about the plants, think about the soil structure. It's making soil structure, it's feeding the soil microbes, the worms, etc. So it's doing a fantastic job for the soil, and hopefully will support a really strong development of plants throughout the growing season. We grew on these 2 beds, we grew a ton of cucumbers last year, so hopefully, unless I move everything around, it's going to grow a load of cucumbers again this year. Really, really good. I really enjoyed those. Pickles, and of course, you've got your eating cucumbers. I have to say, with the pickles, I might grow them vertically. I said that last year as well. But last minute, I'm like, no, let's just grow them how we normally grow them. But I find them really hard to see because they're so small and they're green and they're in a sea of green. So that can be an issue, can't it? Brassica bed. So there are some cabbages right at the back. Most of them are ready and willing to be taken, but some of them are still quite small, so they'll continue growing in the spring, which will fill in that hungry gap a little bit. Got tons of sprouting broccoli. So all of this here is sprouting broccoli, which will be producing in the hungry gap. I think it's about February that this starts producing. I've got one that produced tons and now stopped. No idea. But sprouting broccoli is kind of like a very long growing season. So, but it's definitely worth it to have everything else. It's a bit barren this time of year, isn't it? I have to say, I've got brassicas to harvest. I've got some of the Jerusalem artichokes also, and loads of herbs waiting to be pulled out. But that's about it this time of year. Do you have anything interesting to harvest? I'm waiting for my mushrooms. I think that'll be the biggest excitement when they come up. They haven't come up yet, but they said that it could be either fall, which is basically over now, or it could be in the spring that they start coming up. So fingers crossed. I've never grown mushrooms before, but I've put loads of mycelium down and hopefully it will work. That's all over the bit where the raspberries are. We got tons of raspberries this year as well, and they were proper delicious. The year before, because it was so dry and hot, we got like 2 raspberries before the frost came and killed it all. So that is exciting that we did so much well. Every year is slightly different, I feel. So it is interesting finding out like what works, what doesn't work. But yeah, herbs are doing really well at least. So that's beautiful, isn't it? The red ones are so beautiful. thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Hope you have a fantastic, wonderful, magical season, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye bye.